Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Connection. I missed everybody last week. I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July. I did, but I was speaking with Miss Valerie right before we came on the air, and I said, not being here on Tuesday, though, kind of threw my whole week off. There was several really important things on Wednesday that I totally forgot about because I didn't realize it was Wednesday because I had not been here on Tuesday. So I am glad to be back on schedule and to be with everyone who is here in person, as well as everyone who is watching us and sharing this service with us online today. We're going to begin with our prayer of surrender and then on to our devotion. Spirit of truth, carry me where you will. Bring to me what you will. Take from me what you will. Awaken in me what you will. The Christ man is around me. The Christ mind is in me. The Christ power flows through me. And the Christ mystery exists as me. I believe it. I perceive it. And now I receive it. I am surrendered. Amen. And so it is. Okay, the title of the devotion today is Freedom from Form. And it begins with this affirmation. If you have it in front of you and you want to say it with me. Today, I affirm that I am not my race, gender, sexual orientation, political party, or country of origin. I declare my freedom from form. All right, so the text begins like this. So many times we accept the definitions of ourselves that are really not who we are. These definitions may assist in describing what, where, and when, but they do not sufficiently define who. And if you have the devotion in front of you, you will see that word who is in all caps because we really wanted to emphasize that fact. Then there's a list of all the descriptions that were in the affirmation. Race, gender, age, sexual orientation, religion, country of origin are all part of what, where, when, and perhaps even how we experience life. However, who, again in all caps, you are, is above all these labels, definitions, and temporary forms. You are a formless, normless, ageless, shapeless, nameless, blameless, shameless, labelless, skinless, sinless, endless, eternal spiritual being having a momentary expression in the physical material world. And I need to take a breath after all of that. So why does this matter? On the surface, celebrating our race or our culture, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or country of origin, we think it's something that's fairly harmless. And yet, when there is even subtle separation, defining or labeling of the human family, there will inevitably be the presence of and tendency toward otherness. Then from this otherness, so this otherness of I am this and you are not. Caste systems form, hierarchies are enabled, and violence becomes a probability. All right, so my brother wrote today's devotion, and what he's saying here is that anytime we allow ourselves to be separated, even if it's just in our own mind by these labels, these definitions, these forms that create, as I said, an idea of I am this and you are not. You are something else. You are other than me. Then that creates an opening for things like caste systems, hierarchies, and eventually violence, because the first step toward violence is to begin thinking of another person or of another group of people as other or different, which can turn into the judgment of better or worse, this race or this gender or the people who belong to this religion or political party are better or worse than this other group over here. That's what it leads to. That type of judgmental thinking can lead you all the way down the road from they're worse to they're worthless to they need to be eliminated. Now, that sounds drastic, I know, but we're going to see later on in today's teaching just how that not only can happen, but has happened and has ended in tragedy. Okay, so he shares a quote then by Judah Krishnamurti about how to overcome this way of thinking. And the quote is this: when you call yourself an Indian or a Muslim or a Christian or a European or anything else, you are being violent. All right, now time out here. Again, you may be thinking, well, that's a little extreme. Why is that violent? What's wrong with being proud of who you are or where you come from, or how you choose to express yourself? And the answer is there's nothing wrong with it unless you don't afford that same right to everyone else, especially those who do not define themselves with the same labels you define yourself. He continues, do you see why it is violent? Because you are separating yourself from the rest of mankind. When you separate yourself by belief, by nationality, by tradition, it breeds violence. So, a man who is seeking to understand violence does not belong to any country, to any religion, to any political party or partial system. He is concerned with the total understanding of mankind. End quote. Okay, so there it is. If you want to avoid violence, then you have to go back and discover what the source of it is. And Krishnamurti is suggesting here that it's separation, that's where it begins. So to lessen the severity of this concept and to rightly divide it a little, yes, it's great that you are proud of certain things about yourself. And you can define yourself however you want to, but just do it with the full knowledge that everyone else gets to do it too. And once you begin othering people and letting your definitions of yourself divide you from them, and turn into this judgment of better or worse, good and bad, right and wrong, then it might be a slippery slope that contains the possibility of ending in violence. And his remedy to this is being concerned with the total understanding of mankind, or in other words, putting yourself in the shoes of another and treating them with the same level of love and respect you want them to have toward you. Simple, not always easy, but simple. So let's say the ending prayer together. Formless Spirit, awaken my vision. Open my eyes to my eternal self and soul. Grant me the grace to live above form. Amen.